Hello everybody, and thank you so much for joining the Focus Rage channel. I also appreciate the fact that you gave a chance to this video, and there might be a good reason for that. Now, I don't know if you have checked the rest of my videos, but obviously this one wasn't planned. I didn't even iron my shirt, there is no script, no bullet points, no nothing. The topic of the video would be God as an authority and what exactly that means for you. And I get it. This does sound kind of strange coming from a channel focused on sales and business, but let me give you some backstory on me so you can understand me a bit better. I've been working in sales and business development for 12 years now, which obviously gave me the chance to communicate daily with clients, partners, business owners, and obviously the teams that I'm training. Throughout the course of my career, going through a sales manager, commercial director, to having my own company, I have witnessed specific behaviors coming from certain individuals. And that kind of builds a trend in your head, right? Yes, we're all different in specific ways, but we're also kind of really the same in others. So what exactly did I witness? And let me just, I am gonna try to keep this video short, also because I don't really have a proper structure in my head. But look, I'm currently 29, and up until 25 or 26, I really didn't believe in anything. And by that, I mean I really felt or thought that we're all just a piece of meat. Okay? And I think that there's a lot of people like that. Or at least you would maybe say that you believe in something, but really that's not the case. And additionally, I also want to mention, I'm not talking about religion. I'm not talking about Christianity or you being a Muslim or something else. I'm not talking about the books. I'm not talking about any of that. I'm talking about believing in a higher self or energy or whatever you want to say, right? So after 25, 26, I went on a slow and gradual, quote unquote, spiritual journey or whatever you want to call it. I went to all sorts of stuff. Going from nature to whatever ceremonies or even some stuff related to Christianity. And all of those things started showing me the truth behind the person's character in society. And I started linking that to the teams that I'm training and that I'm working with. And those are different companies. I'm talking about also huge corporations in the world of finance, cybersecurity, or whatever else you want to call it. So I would start to see that there are people that are accepting, let's say if we're talking about training, sales training, there are people that are accepting of the training and can absorb information. There are people that usually question things, and that's fine. You really always should question. And then there are those that might be listening, but they have difficulties in absorbing or in even listening a quote-unquote teacher, in this case a trainer. I really, up until then, as I said, up until 25 or 26, I didn't link this to a person's belief. I was just like, yeah, okay, so that's his character. This is the type of a person that, he just likes himself more than anybody else. And that's really the case in some places. But throughout the course of me even training myself and kind of allowing myself to be taught by other people, not just in business sense, but as I said, in spiritual sense, I realized that you always have an authority on top of you. You always have an authority. And if you think that you don't, and if you think that nobody's above you, then you're probably still a child. Certainly. You might want to lie to yourself, I'm a free person, I'm my own man, I do this, I do that. Sure. Look, there's always somebody on top of you. It can be in a specific situation, your manager, your boss, or in your life, the government, or whoever else. There's always someone above you. And you ignoring that fact probably would only make you miserable, and it would make you reject a part of life. So I really started thinking that if you're gonna have an authority above you, isn't it best for that authority to be this ideal? All light, all loving, all accepting, all helpful, father, or whatever you want to call it, right? Again, I'm not preaching. I'm trying to put it in a logical sense for you, right? For whoever wants to engage with me in this conversation right now. It's you choose if you want to listen to me or you want to call me an idiot or whatever. But if you're going to have an authority, isn't it best to have someone that you can always count on and that you can strive for? Or do you need to be following some kind of a political leader or a sports guru, champion, something like that? No, you have all kinds of choices. I'm not saying which one is right. But one way or another, let's imagine you live up until you're 70, 80, 90 years old. Who are you going to follow then? Or when you're 35, 40, in your peak, let's say, if we're talking about men. For women it's different, but you get my idea. So who are you going to be following? Who is going to determine how you behave? Because imagine it like this, and you don't even need to imagine it. You can look at society on the side and your colleagues, your friends, your buddies, your family, the people that you work with and live with. In the majority of cases, those that don't really have a belief and they believe in themselves, exactly what kind of a limit do they have to the way they behave? Who do they account to? How are they accountable? Know what I mean? It's all about kind of trust. When you're building this relationship with someone, as I said in this case, the teams that I'm training, right? I don't really want them to be accountable to me, but to themselves. And when I say to themselves, this would mean that they really need inside of their head somebody that they have to follow, and if you do something wrong, or if you're not thinking straight, you know that somebody's there to tap you on the back and to help you, or to say, hey, stop doing that. It's all, somebody stopping you from doing a specific thing is also good, right? So in many cases, the only person that's going to be inside of your head when you're making the final decision, the only person is going to be God, if you let him be there. If you believe in something, right? I'm not going to be inside of your head. Nobody's going to be inside of your head. So I got to the conclusion that people that really do not believe in any type of a spiritual authority above them, not always, but in many cases, work on ego. On ego. At first glance, when you speak with them, maybe they can be accepting, they can smile, they can build a nice relationship with you, you can talk. But sooner or later, they kind of start failing you. You know what I mean? Or failing the business or somebody else, because they really don't have that accountability inside of themselves. The only person that they're not even accountable to themselves. You know what I mean when I'm saying that they work on ego? And that's so many people. Some lie better to themselves than others, but at the end of the day, they have difficulties following a leader or a teacher or a trainer, regardless of the field, because they work on ego, which in many cases, I guess, comes from or could be defeated by believing in God, in something higher than you. So what exactly am I saying? A person has a choice to live however they want, to do whatever they want, obviously. And I'm not perfect at all. I've done many mistakes and I keep doing mistakes just like anybody else. But I do have the feeling that, it's not even a feeling, I have proven it to myself that when I trust and when I believe in God, in a higher authority, which is always going to be there. Again, you're always going to have an authority above you. When I choose for that authority to be the perfect, good and light, as in brightness, light example of what you need to be, I can always make the right choice, and I can always allow myself to learn new things. I gave the example with sales trainings or something with business, but this doesn't need to be the case. It can be anything else. It can be even a hobby. But I have the feeling that the person would never learn fully and would never accept being taught if they don't have a strong belief in a spiritual being above them. And here I can go deeper and say that I believe, including myself, all people need a specific teaching or a lesson, constant lessons on themselves in a psychological way. What are their strong points? What are their weak points? Where do they lack? The plus and the minus, right? And it's so difficult for people in general to accept that minus, to understand where it's coming from, to understand the core of what needs to change. And so many people go throughout their whole life without fixing even one, barrier that they are stuck on inside of their head, because the only authority that they have there is themselves and nobody else. And that's the biggest lie that a person in today's world keeps telling themselves over and over and over again, and keeps repeating the same mistakes all the time. Now, take everything that I said however you want. I just felt like I have to record this and I have to post it. I don't want to go too deep into it. If I see that there's an interest in this type of a content, I can actually, build something a bit more constructive, a better video. But yeah, this is just my advice. Kind of a self-reflection for people that, hey, if you don't believe in anything above you, but by that I mean really believe, like communicating, talking, if you don't have that trust in this higher authority, then there's probably a good chance that you're not listening to people. You don't like criticism. It's difficult for you to accept another person's opinion. You would probably be thinking about other people's opinion on you, because that would be the one thing that would kind of construct your feelings, not, let's say, God's opinion on you, right? And if all of these points that I'm making sink in right now, then I'm probably making a good point to you. And you can think about that. We've been born with free will inside of our head. Whatever happens to you in this world, to your body or whatever else, that's cool, right? Whatever happens, happens. But here, you have full freedom to be whoever you want, even if you're tied to your chair. Okay? So, be free to test out this idea that I'm trying to explain. And I do hope that I was able to express my feelings and thoughts properly. And also, I do apologize that the video was a bit slow, because as I said, I have literally nothing written, so I wasn't following any script or structure. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate that. God bless you, right? And, good luck in life, good luck in business. And I hope that this was helpful and, positive to some people. Cheers for now.